Listen closely. Can you hear it? That silence? That is the sound of your life waiting. It is waiting for a command. It is waiting for a spark. It is waiting for the moment you finally wake up from the trance you have been living in. Most people walk through life in a state of mild hypnosis. They are asleep at the wheel. They wake up, they follow the same routine, they think the same thoughts, they feel the same frustrations, and they go to sleep hoping that tomorrow, somehow, by magic, will be different. But tomorrow is not a magic wand. Tomorrow is just another today, repeated. You are waiting for a sign. You are waiting for the economy to get better. You are waiting for your boss to notice you. You are waiting to feel ready. You are waiting for the perfect time to start living the life you actually want. I am here to tell you the brutal, beautiful truth. The signal is never coming. The cavalry is not coming over the hill to save you. No one is coming to push you out of bed. No one is coming to slap the junk food out of your hand. No one is coming to write your book, build your business, or fix your relationship. You are the rescue team. You are the architect. You are the captain. This realization is terrifying to the weak, but it is liberating to the strong. Because if no one is coming to save you, it means no one is coming to stop you either. You have been gifted with a potential that you are currently wasting. You are sitting on a goldmine of talent and energy, but you are too busy looking at what everyone else is doing to dig for your own. That ends today. This is not a motivational speech. Motivation is cheap. Motivation is a feeling that leaves you as soon as you get hungry or tired. This is a manifesto of discipline. This is a manual for reconstruction. We are going to take your life apart, piece by piece, and we are going to rebuild it into something that can withstand the storm. We are going to cover 15 laws of transformation, 15 chapters of truth. Some of it will hurt. Good. Let it hurt. Pain is the feeling of weakness leaving the body. If you are ready to stop talking and start becoming, if you are ready to kill your excuses and give birth to your purpose, then let us begin. Chapter 1, The Mirror of Radical Ownership. If you want to know the exact coordinates of your problem, walk into your bathroom and look in the mirror. That reflection is the source of all your pain. It is also the source of all your power. The first law of greatness is radical ownership. We live in a culture that is addicted to blame. It is an epidemic. We blame the government. We blame the school system. We blame our parents for how they raised us. We blame the traffic. We blame the weather. Blame is a comfortable chair. It feels good to sit in it. It feels safe. As long as you can point the finger at someone else, you don't have to change. You get to be the victim. And in this world, victims get attention. But victims never get victory. As long as you believe your life is determined by external forces, you are a slave. You are a leaf blowing in the wind, going wherever the world decides to push you. You have to cut the strings. You must stand in the wreckage of your current life, look at your bank account, look at your body, look at your relationships, and say the hardest words a human being can say. I did this. I chose the comfort. I chose the distraction. I chose to stay silent when I should have spoken. I chose to hit snooze. I chose to delay. Why is this important? Why do you need to take the blame? Because if you created the mess, then you have the power to clean it up. If your choices led you into the darkness, your new choices can lead you into the light. That is the ultimate power. Ownership gives you back the steering wheel. Most people want the prize, but they don't want the weight. They want the title of a boss, but they don't want the responsibility of the loss. You cannot have one without the other. If you want to lead your life, you have to own every inch of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Stop looking for a savior. Stop waiting for a mentor to hand you the blueprint. You write the blueprint with your actions. When you take ownership, you stop complaining. Complaining is the sound of helplessness. Leaders don't complain, leaders adjust. Leaders solve. Leaders take the hit and keep moving. Ask yourself right now, what area of my life have I been blaming on someone else? Is it your health? Oh, I don't have time to cook. No, you haven't prioritized it. Is it your career? Oh, my boss doesn't like me. No, you haven't made yourself undeniable. The moment you switch from "it's their fault" to "it's my responsibility," you graduate from a child to an adult. You graduate from a drifter to a warrior. The mirror is waiting. Stop looking away. Chapter 2, The Action Gap, The Death of Intention. There is a canyon in your mind. It is deep, it is wide, and it is filled with the ghosts of who you could have been. On one side of the canyon is intention. On the other side is action. Most people spend their entire lives camping on the side of intention. They build houses there. They decorate them with plans and dreams. They say things like, "I'm going to start that business next year. I'm planning to get back in the gym soon. I'm thinking about writing a book." They mistake thinking for doing. They mistake planning for progress. Let me be clear, the world does not care about your intentions. The world does not care what you plan to do. The graveyard is full of people who had great plans. The world only rewards one thing: execution. You have to cross the canyon. You have to leave the safe, comfortable world of thinking about it, and step into the dangerous, messy world of doing it. Why do we stay stuck in intention? Because of fear. We are terrified of the gap. We are terrified that if we try, we might fail. We are terrified of looking stupid. We are terrified that we aren't ready. Let me kill that lie for you right now: you will never feel ready. Readiness is a myth. You think confidence comes before action? You are wrong. Confidence comes after action. You don't wait until you are not scared to jump. You jump while you are scared. That is what courage is. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is acting in spite of it. You have been paralyzed by overanalysis. You are consuming so much information that you are choking on it. You watch tutorials, you read blogs, you listen to podcasts, and you feel like you are working. You are not working. You are procrastinating. You are hiding behind research because you are afraid of the work. Knowledge without execution is just entertainment. You don't need to know step 10 to take step 1. You just need to take step 1. You are standing in a dark room with a flashlight. You can only see a few feet in front of you. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You take the step, and the light moves forward. Stand up. Right now. What is the one thing you have been avoiding? The one phone call. The one email. The one workout. The one conversation. Do it. Do it badly. Do it clumsily. Do it with shaking hands and a racing heart. But do it. Because a bad plan executed today is better than a perfect plan executed next week. Next week never comes. There is only now. Bridge the gap. Step across the canyon. Leave the land of intention behind and become a citizen of action. Chapter 3: The Architecture of Habit, the Invisible Code. Your life is not defined by the big moments. It is not defined by the wedding day, the graduation, the promotion, or the funeral. Those are events. Your life is defined by the spaces in between. Your life is defined by what you do on a rainy Tuesday morning when nobody is watching. Your life is the sum total of your habits. You are what you repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, it is a habit. Failure is not an event, it is a habit. Most people think their life is out of control, but really, their habits are just running on autopilot. You wake up, you check your phone, you scroll, you drink the coffee, you eat the sugar, you procrastinate. You are running a script. A script written by a version of you that wanted comfort, not greatness. If you want to change the output, your life, you must rewrite the code, your habits. You cannot build a skyscraper on a swamp. You need a foundation of concrete. Your habits are that concrete. But here is the trap: you want to change everything at once. You get motivated at 2 a.m. and decide, tomorrow I will change my whole life. So you try to wake up at 4 a.m., run 10 miles, read a book, and start a business all in one day. And by Wednesday, you have crashed and burned. This is the amateur way. The professional understands the power of the micro-habit. You don't need to change everything. You need to change one thing, and you need to master it with obsessive consistency. Start with your morning. The first hour of the day is the rudder that steers the ship. If you win the morning, you win the day. If you wake up and immediately react to the world, check emails, check social media, let other people's stress into your brain, you have lost control. You are starting the day on defense. Switch to offense. Create a protocol. Wake up. Drink water. Move your body. Read something wise. Sit in silence. It doesn't have to be long. It just has to be yours. And look at your bad habits. They are not who you are. They are just behaviors you have practiced for a long time. You are not a lazy person, you just have a habit of laziness. You can unlearn it. But you must be ruthless. You must identify the triggers. What makes you reach for the junk food? Stress? Boredom? What makes you skip the gym? The couch? The TV? Design your environment to make good habits easy and bad habits hard. If you want to read more, put the book on your pillow. If you want to stop scrolling, put the phone in another room. You are the architect of your environment. Small hinges swing big doors. A habit that takes 10 minutes a day, repeated for 365 days, transforms your identity. Stop looking for the magic pill. The magic is in the routine. The magic is in the boredom. The magic is doing the same thing, over and over again, until you become undeniable. Chapter 4, The Poison of Comfort, the Biological Trap. There is a silent killer in your life. It is not a disease. It is not a person. It is a feeling. The killer is comfort. We have been biologically wired to seek comfort. Our ancestors needed to conserve energy to survive. They sought warmth, safety, and rest because the world was dangerous. But the world has changed. We no longer live in caves. We live in climate-controlled boxes. We have infinite food delivered to our door. We have infinite entertainment in our pockets. We are drowning in comfort. And it is making us soft. It is making us weak. It is making us depressed. Comfort is a slow death. When you are comfortable, you are not growing. In nature, if a living thing is not growing, it is dying. There is no standing still. You have to understand that your brain is trying to sabotage you. Your brain wants you to stay in bed. Your brain wants you to eat the donut. Your brain wants you to avoid the cold. Your brain is trying to keep you safe. But you don't want to be safe. You want to be great. And greatness lives on the other side of suffering. You have to voluntarily choose the hard path. You have to seek out resistance. Why do we lift weights? To tear the muscle fibers so they grow back stronger. Why do we study? To strain the mind so it expands. You must apply this to everything. If you shy away from difficult conversations, your relationships wither. If you shy away from physical exertion, your body decays. If you shy away from the risk of failure, your spirit shrinks. You have to become a person who runs toward the fire, not away from it. When you feel that resistance, that voice that says, "I don't want to do this," that is your signal. That is the green light. That means you must do it. Every time you choose comfort, you are casting a vote for your lower self. You are training your mind to quit. But every time you choose the hard path, when you wake up early, when you take the cold shower, when you push through the last rep, you are callousing your mind. You are building mental armor. You are teaching yourself that you are in charge, not your feelings. Do not pray for an easy life. An easy life creates fragile people. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult life. Look at the successful people you admire. None of them got there by being comfortable. They got there by embracing the suck. They got there by doing what others were not willing to do. The comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Step out into the storm. That is where you will find yourself. Chapter 5, Integrity in the Dark, the Private Victory. The true measure of a human being is not what they do on the stage. It is not what they do when the applause is loud, or when the camera is rolling, or when the boss is watching. The true measure of who you are, is who you are in the dark. When the door is closed. When no one is looking. When there is no reward, no recognition, and no consequence for being lazy. That is the moment where your destiny is decided. This is the law of private integrity. Most people are performers. They are actors in their own lives. They work hard only when they have an audience. They are kind only when they want something. They have discipline only when someone is checking on them. This is weakness. This is fragility. Because if your discipline depends on someone else watching you, you are not a master, you are a servant. You must learn to hold yourself to a standard that is higher than anyone else expects of you. Why? Because self-respect is not given, it is earned. You are walking around with low confidence, insecurities, and doubt. Do you know why? Because you don't trust yourself. You have broken so many promises to yourself that your subconscious mind thinks you are a liar. You said you would wake up. You didn't. You said you would eat clean. You didn't. You said you would finish the project. You quit. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you cut a piece of your soul away. You weaken your own foundation. But the reverse is also true. When you do the work in the dark, when you sweep the corners that no one sees, when you do the extra rep that no one counts, you build an internal fire. You build a reputation with yourself. You start to walk differently. You speak differently. You look people in the eye differently. Because you know. You know that you are not a fraud. You know that you are solid gold, all the way through. Stop looking for accountability partners. Stop looking for cheerleaders. Be your own general. Demand excellence from yourself, not for the world, but for the code you live by. The public victory is just a result of the private victory. If you want to shine in the light, you must first sweat in the dark. Chapter 6, Identity Shifting, Wear the Crown. There is a misunderstanding about how change works. Most people think, first I need to feel like a winner, then I will act like a winner. They think, first I need to become successful, then I will have the habits of a success. This is backward. This is broken logic. You do not achieve the outcome to get the identity. You adopt the identity to get the outcome. You have to act like the person you want to become before you are that person. You have a vision of your highest self. The version of you that is fit, wealthy, focused, calm, and dangerous. You know what that person looks like. How do they walk? How do they speak? How do they treat their time? How do they handle stress? Start acting like them. Right now. This is not fake it till you make it. This is practice it till you become it. You are casting a vote for your identity with every action you take. If you eat garbage, you are voting for the identity of a lazy person. If you scroll on your phone for 3 hours, you are voting for the identity of a consumer. But if you train when you are tired, you are voting for the identity of an athlete. If you save your money, you are voting for the identity of an investor. You have to align your behavior with your vision. You cannot dress like a slob and expect to feel like a king. You cannot speak with hesitation and expect to be heard as a leader. Upgrade your standards. Upgrade the way you carry yourself. When you walk into a room, walk in as the person you intend to be. Sit up straight. Speak with clarity. Do not apologize for your existence. The world judges you by how you judge yourself. If you treat yourself like you are valuable, the world will agree. If you treat yourself like you are disposable, the world will throw you away. You are the actor, the director, and the writer of this movie. If you don't like the character you are playing, rewrite the script. Change the costume. Change the dialogue. You don't need permission to reinvent yourself. You can kill your old identity today and give birth to a new one. But you have to prove it. Not with words. With behavior. Wear the crown before you are king, and the kingdom will come to you. Chapter 7, The Execution of Excuses. Let's talk about the lies. The lies you tell your friends. The lies you tell your family. And worst of all, the lies you tell yourself in the middle of the night to make yourself feel better about giving up. We call them excuses. But an excuse is just a lie dressed up in a tuxedo. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'm not smart enough. I'm too old. I don't have the money. Listen to me, nobody cares. The market does not care about your excuse. The world does not care about your fatigue. Life does not care about your sad story. You can have excuses or you can have results. You cannot have both. You have to choose. When you make an excuse, you are trying to protect your ego. You are trying to explain why you failed so that you don't feel like a failure. But excuses are the nails in the coffin of your potential. I don't have time. No. You have the same 24 hours as Beyoncé, as Elon Musk, as the greatest leaders in history. It is not a lack of time, it is a lack of priority. You have time for Netflix. You have time to argue in the comments section. You have time to worry. You are wasting time and then complaining that you don't have any. I'm too tired. We are all tired. Do you think the champions are not tired? Do you think the people building empires are well rested? No. They are exhausted. But they work anyway. Tired is not a stop sign. Tired is just a feeling. Ignore it. You have to become allergic to your own excuses. When you hear yourself saying, I can't because. Stop. Catch the thought. Choke it out. Replace I can't with how can I? Instead of, I can't afford it, ask, how can I afford it? Instead of, I don't have time, ask, what can I cut out to make time? Stop negotiating with your weakness. The voice in your head that wants to quit is not your friend. It is your enemy. It is trying to keep you safe, small, and comfortable. Do not listen to it. There is a version of you that is capable of climbing the mountain. But that version of you will never exist as long as you are carrying the heavy baggage of your excuses. Drop the weight. Drop the story. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment your real life begins. Because once you remove the excuse, the only thing left is work. And work is the only thing that works. Chapter 8, The Currency of Death, Time Management. Time is not money. That is a cheap comparison. You can lose money and make it back. You can go bankrupt and become a billionaire. Time is life. Time is the only non-renewable resource you have. Once a second ticks by, it is gone. It has vanished into the void, and no amount of praying, begging, or bargaining will ever bring it back. You are bleeding time. You live as if you have an infinite supply. You kill hours as if they are worthless. You scroll through feeds of people you don't know, looking at lives you don't have, wasting the only life you do have. This is suicide on the installment plan. You need to wake up to the urgency of your existence. You are dying. From the moment you were born, the clock started ticking down. You do not know how much sand is left in the hourglass. Could be 50 years. Could be 50 minutes. Does that scare you? Good. Let the fear wake you up. If you knew you only had 1 year left to live, would you spend it watching reality TV? Would you spend it worrying about what your neighbor thinks of you? Would you spend it in a job you hate? No. You would become ruthless with your time. You would focus only on what matters. You would say no to everything that does not set your soul on fire. So why aren't you doing that now? Stop disrespecting your time. Stop giving it away to people who don't deserve it. Stop giving it to activities that don't build you. You need to guard your time like a ferocious dog guards a gate. Learn the power of the word no. No is a complete sentence. You do not owe the world your attention. You owe your future self your focus. Prioritize. If everything is important, nothing is important. What are the 3 things that actually move the needle? Do those. Ignore the rest. Being busy is not a badge of honor. It is often a sign of laziness, lazy thinking. You are running around doing shallow work to avoid the deep, hard work that actually creates value. Slow down. Focus. Go deep. Use your time to build assets. Build your body. Build your mind. Build your wealth. Build your relationships. When you look back at your life from your deathbed, you will not regret the work you did. You will not regret the risks you took. You will regret the time you wasted. You will regret the hours you let slip through your fingers like water. The sun is going down. The day is ending. Don't let another one pass you by without squeezing every drop of potential out of it. Treat every minute like it is gold. Because it is worth much more than gold. It is your life. Chapter 9: The Surgery of Truth. You cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge. If you have a broken bone, but you pretend it is just a scratch, you will walk with a limp forever. If you have a tumor, but you refuse to look at the scan, it will consume you. Most people are living with a limp. They are living with a sickness of the soul. But they refuse to look at the X-ray because they are afraid of what they will see. Change requires the truth. And the truth is often ugly. The truth is not kind. The truth does not care about your feelings. The truth is a scalpel. It cuts, it hurts, but it cures. You have to perform surgery on your own life. You have to sit down, turn off the noise, and ask the question that scares you the most: what is really wrong? Stop saying you are confused. You are not confused. You know exactly what the problem is. You know you are eating too much because you are soothing your anxiety. You know you are broke because you buy things to impress people you don't like. You know your relationship is failing because you are too proud to apologize. You know you are stuck in your career because you are doing the bare minimum. Stop lying to yourself. We lie to protect our ego. We tell ourselves stories: I'm just big-boned. I'm just a night owl. I'm just unlucky. These are not facts. These are sedatives. You take them to numb the pain of mediocrity. But if you want to be great, you must develop an iron stomach for the truth. You must be able to look at your flaws and say, there it is. That is the rot. That is the weakness. Admitting you are weak is the first step to becoming strong. Admitting you are foolish is the first step to becoming wise. You don't need to beat yourself up. Shame is useless. This is not about hating yourself, this is about knowing yourself. You cannot fix a machine if you don't know which part is broken. So, diagnose the problem. Is it fear? Is it laziness? Is it pride? Is it addiction? Name the demon. Once you name it, you strip it of its power. Once you see it clearly, you can kill it. The truth will set you free, but first, it will make you miserable. Embrace that misery. Use it as fuel. Let the truth burn away everything that isn't real, so that only the strongest version of you remains. Chapter 10: The Language of Results. Silence is power. Talk is cheap. In fact, talk is free. That is why there is so much of it. The world is noisy. Everyone is a guru. Everyone is a coach. Everyone is posting about their grind, and their hustle, and their big plans. Shut up and work. You are leaking energy. Every time you open your mouth to tell someone what you are going to do, you lose a little bit of the drive to actually do it. You get a dopamine hit from the announcement, and your brain feels like it has already accomplished the goal. This is a trap. Real change does not need an audience. Real ambition does not need to scream. The lion does not have to tell you it is a lion. You know it when you see it. The storm does not warn you before it breaks. You feel it when it hits. Be the storm. Move in silence. There is a terrifying power in a person who is working hard and saying nothing. It confuses people. It intimidates people. They don't know what you are up to. They don't know your next move. And then, one day, you show up with the results. You show up with the physique. You show up with the bank account. You show up with the skills. You don't need to explain yourself. The results explain themselves. Results are the only language that matters. You can argue with an opinion. You cannot argue with a result. If you say you are the best, I might doubt you. If you show me the trophy, the debate is over. Stop trying to convince people you are changing. Stop trying to prove to your ex, or your parents, or your haters that you are doing better. They don't believe your words because your words have been empty in the past. Make your life the proof. Let your success make the noise. Disappear for a while. Go into the submarine. Cut the distractions. Go deep into the work. And do not surface until you have something to show for it. The most dangerous person in the room is the one who listens, watches, and works while everyone else is busy talking. Be that person. Chapter 11, The Alchemy of Pain, Reframing Failure. You are going to fall. You are going to fail. You are going to bleed. This is not a probability, it is a guarantee. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid pain. They tiptoe through life, hoping to make it to death safely. They play small so they never have to feel the sting of defeat. But you cannot grow without pain. Pain is information. When you touch a hot stove, the pain tells you to move your hand. It saves you. When you fail at a business, the pain tells you your strategy was wrong. It teaches you. When your heart is broken, the pain tells you that you need to love yourself more. It deepens you. Do not run from the pain. Do not numb it with alcohol, or drugs, or scrolling. Sit in it. Study your scars. The difference between a winner and a loser is not that the winner never fails. It is that the winner processes the failure differently. The loser says, I failed, therefore I am a failure. The winner says, I failed, therefore I learned a way that doesn't work. You have to become an alchemist. In ancient times, alchemists tried to turn lead into gold. You must do the same with your suffering. You must take the heavy, dark lead of your trauma, your mistakes, and your rejection, and turn it into the gold of wisdom and character. If you waste your pain, you are a fool. You already paid the price for it, you cried, you suffered, you lost sleep. So get the reward. Get the lesson. Don't let that suffering be for nothing. The strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. If life is burning you right now, it is because it is trying to forge you into a weapon. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Resilience is not about bouncing back to where you were. It is about bouncing forward to a place you have never been. Embrace the fall. But never, ever stay on the ground. Chapter 12, The Law of the Circle. You can have the mindset of a warrior, the discipline of a monk, and the heart of a lion, but if you hang out with chickens, you will never fly. Environment is stronger than willpower. If you are trying to quit smoking, but you sit in a room full of smokers, you will smoke. If you are trying to build wealth, but your friends only talk about spending money, you will stay broke. If you are trying to grow, but your circle is comfortable with stagnation, they will pull you down. This is the law of association. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look around you. Look at your friends. Are they pushing you up, or holding you down? Do they talk about ideas, or do they talk about people? Do they celebrate your wins, or do they get jealous? It is better to walk alone than to walk with a crowd going in the wrong direction. Solitude is dangerous, but bad company is fatal. You have to audit your circle. This is painful. It means you might have to leave people behind. It means you might have to outgrow people you have known since childhood. They will call you arrogant. They will say you have changed. Good. You should change. If you are the same person you were in high school, you have failed. You need to surround yourself with lions. You need to be in a room where you are the dumbest person, the poorest person, the least fit person. Why? Because that room forces you to level up. That room makes you uncomfortable in the best way. Energy is contagious. Motivation is contagious. Standards are contagious. If you cannot find a circle of winners in real life, find them in books. Find them in podcasts. Find them in history. Spend your time with the great minds of the past until you can find the great minds of the present. Protect your energy. It is the fuel for your dreams. Do not let vampires drain it. Do not let losers poison it. Build a fortress around your mind, and be very careful who you let in the gate. The music swells, then cuts to near silence. Just a heartbeat sound. We have reached the end of the broadcast. The words are finished. The theories are laid out. The blueprint is in your hands. But understand this, a map is not the territory. Knowing the path is not the same as walking the path. You can memorize every chapter one just spoke. You can quote the lines. You can feel the fire in your chest right now. But if you turn this audio off and go back to doing exactly what you did yesterday, then we have failed. Information without execution is just noise. You are standing at a fork in the road. It is the most important decision of your life, and you are making it right now. To the left is the easy path. It is the path you know. The path of comfort. The path of excuses. The path of a tomorrow. It is a warm, soft, slow descent into a life of regret. To the right is the hard path. The path of discipline. The path of cold mornings and late nights. The path of honesty. The path of pain. But it is the only path that leads to the top of the mountain. Do not think that you have infinite time to decide. You don't. The clock is ticking. The sand is falling. The shadow is lengthening. One day, your heart will beat for the very last time. And in that final moment, when the movie of your life flashes before your eyes, what will you see? Will you see a film about a person who was afraid? Who waited? Who hid? Who wished they had done more? Or will you see a legend? Will you see a person who squeezed every ounce of potential out of their soul? A person who fell down and got up, over and over again? A person who built something real? A person who looked fear in the eye and didn't blink? The pen is in your hand. The page is blank. The story is yours to write. Do not let society write it for you. Do not let your parents write it for you. Do not let your past write it for you. You are the architect. Burn the boats. Tear up the safety net. Look in the mirror one last time and tell that person that the vacation is over. The waiting is over. The dreaming is over. It is time to build. You are ready. You are capable. You are powerful beyond measure. Now,